accommodate. Okay, so point slope form. Someone tell me what that is. I would write it down. What is point slope form? Times the quantity. Good job. So we're leaving this equation in point slope form. That means we're not simplifying it once we write it. We're leaving it in point slope form. So Antoine, you did such a good job telling us what that equation is. Do you feel like you could plug in the numbers that are given to you and write an equation in point slope form? Perfect. Let's do it.
One minus 2 equals negative 3 over 2 times the quantity x minus plus 4.
Good job. Perfect. Does anyone not understand that? Okay. Dang it. I'm not really sure how to make this stop doing that. I don't know how to scroll, you guys. It didn't do that last time. What the heck is going down? Okay. All right, next one. Point slope form. What do I need here? I need the M. Do I have the M? Tell me how to do it.
Minus y1 over x2 minus x1.
Dakota, hold your watch. I'm taking it. Okay, this is how we find slope. So let's find the slope. Go ahead. What is it?
4 plus 8.
Good job, plus 8.
And 3 minus 5 equals 12 over 2. And 12 divided by 2 is 6.
Isn't it 12 over negative 2?
12 over negative 2 and answer is negative 6.
Awesome. You want to write the equation?
Sure.
What point are you going to use?
5 negative.
Do it.
So y plus 8 equals negative 6 times the quantity of x minus 5.
Awesome. That's why we shouldn't be flipping our watch and being crazy. Okay. Got it?
Miss Bishop, can you scroll up for a second?
I would love to scroll up for a second.
Okay, I got it.
Did you get it?
Yeah.
I appreciate that.
Next one.
Oh, we're just writing it.
Wait, Miss Bishop, scroll up the thing again. Why is the red line moving?
Because it won't erase right now. I don't know. Daniel, did you have it all? I'm sorry.
I'm copying all the coordinates.
Are you sure? I apologize. Okay, number 3 says write the slope intercept form of the equation for the line, and I'm going to color in the 2 ordered pairs that you should be looking at. So we need to find out what B is, and we need to find out what M is. Go ahead. What you got, Gavin?
The ordered pair is, the first one is 0, 2,
Okay, that's awesome.
and the second one is 1, negative 1.
Okay. Do you know what the 0.02 represents? Where, yeah, it's where you begin. So that means that's what B is, right? Can we count our slope, or do you want to calculate our slope? Okay. Can you guys count your slope on that line, on that graph?
3/1.
It's going down, so it's negative 3/1, right? So remember, so if you went up, you would have run to the left, and running to the left is negative. Okay. That's all right. No, that's okay. So write the equation, Daniel. Y equals mx plus b.
Y equals minus 3x plus 2.
Perfect. Does everyone feel good about that one?
Yeah.
Okay. Easy. All right. We're writing this equation in slope intercept form. Antoine, do you have a problem with your tongue that you need to click like that? Are you 3? Don't me like I don't see what you're doing. Are you going to stop that, or do you need to go sit out in the hallway so you can click? I'm just asking. Thank you. So how do I solve this? I need to make it look like y equals someone other than Gavin. Not that I don't want to hear you, Gavin. I just want someone else to try it. I have to make this look like y equals mx plus b. I have to distribute. So y plus 3 equals negative 4 over 5x. A negative times a negative is a positive. 5 times 1 is 5. Kate, what? Subtract the 3 from both sides. So here's where it might be good to have a calculator, okay? Because we struggle with subtracting a whole number from a fraction. So if I were using my calculator, this is like my little calculator operation right here, I would do parentheses 8 divided by 5, close my parenthesis, minus 3, and I would hit equals. And you turned it into a fraction already? Good job.
Wait, Miss Bishop?
Yeah?
That dot, was it on purpose or?
Yeah, I'm drawing that. I was trying to show you that that's the calculator operation.
Oh,
So your final answer is y equals negative 4/5 x minus 7/5. Because after you take that 8 divided by 5, close your parenthesis, minus 3, you're going to get a decimal. Then you hit the math button on your calculator and it says, hey, do you want a fraction? And you say, heck yeah, I want a fraction. There you go.
There's an easier way to do that.
I know there is. You can turn it into a fraction automatically, but it's too many buttons, people. Yes, just leave it that way. Okay. You wanted to yell the other way? Oh. Yeah, don't say a bad thing about yourself. Okay, slope intercept form. So again, I need to write this in y equals mx plus b. What do I need to do first? Am I skipping one? Okay. Shh. I'm listening, Kate. I'm sorry.
Y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x.
Yeah, I have to find slope. What is it? Tell me what numbers I'm subtracting. What is y2, ma'am? Help her out, Amira. Help her out.
Oh, okay. Wait. Okay, I got it. I'm sorry.
That's okay.
Okay. 2 minus 6 over negative 4 minus 8.
Okay, if you start with the 2, which is the second point, you have to start with the x coordinate, which is also the second point. Say that again.
8 minus 4.
8 plus 4, because minus and negative becomes plus. So 2 minus 6 is negative 4. 8 plus 4 is 12. That reduces to a negative 1/3. That's my slope. Ma'am.
for the 2 minus 6, did you do the y? You know what I'm talking about?
You want the table?
Yes.
Yes. Let me show you. Negative 4 and 6, 8 and 2. What did I do here? Subtracted 4. What did I do here? plus 12. Negative 4 over 12. Yes, you can absolutely do that, ma'am. Okay, what do I do next? I'm running out of space. Ooh, any ideas?
You take one of the coordinates.
Yeah.
Like, take the 8 and 2. You do y minus 2 equals negative 1/3 times the quantity of x minus 8.
Awesome job. And I still need it in slope intercept form. So then I have to, I heard someone whisper it. Distribute. Was that you over there, Daniel? Y minus 2 equals negative 1/3 x. A negative 1 times a negative 8 is a positive 8. 3 times 1 is 3. I'm going to add 2 to both sides. So 8/3 plus 2 is, Kate? So y equals negative 1/3 x plus 14/3. How do we feel about that? Good. Okay. All right. What about this? If I have to write something parallel, like if I have to compare lines by being parallel or perpendicular, what is the first thing that I need every single time? If I'm trying to say that again, the slope. So I need to find m first. So 2x plus 3y equals 8. How am I going to find m? Go ahead, Eric. Yep, subtract 2x from both sides. So 3y equals negative 2x plus 8. Keep going, Eric. Divide by 3. Whoops, that's just a regular old 3. So here's the deal. I don't care about anything else except the slope. Once I figure out what the slope is, I don't even solve the rest of it because I just need the slope. Does that make sense? So now I know the slope and my line is passing through this point. So I have an m of a negative 2 over 3 and it's passing through the point negative 4, 3. What should I do next? If I know a point and I know the slope, that's going to become your most favorite equation. You're really good at it.
Do y minus 3 equals negative 2/3 times the quantity of x plus 4.
Awesome. That's point slope form, but it wants it in slope intercept form. So what do I have to do next? Distribute. Yeah, you guys are going to become masters at this. Good job. So y minus 3 equals negative 2/3 x. Negative 2 times 8 is, 4 is negative 8. 3 times 1 is 3. I'm going to add 3 to both sides. So y equals, Miss Calculator, it is 1/3. I can't get rid of that black box. I don't know how to move it and I can't erase that red line. It's really driving me crazy, but it's just going to have to stay there until I figure this out because this is not the OneNote that I always use. All right. I did that already. It's still there though. I want the whole thing to go away or move it. I tried moving it. There. That's better. But I still can't erase this. Yeah, I don't know. That's all right. It's going to have to stay there. So number 7. Kate, didn't you say you wanted to do number 7? Oh, I thought that's what you whispered. Dakota wants to do it. Okay. So we're finding a perpendicular. What do we need to know first? Every single time we talk about perpendicular or parallel lines, we need to know what? M. So we have to find M from this equation. 4x minus 5y equals 12. Good job. Subtract 4x from both sides. Negative 4x plus 12, right? You can't combine 4 and 12 because one's got an x, one doesn't. Keep going. That's a negative 5. Do you see that, hon? That 5 has a negative in front of it. I'm not even going to put it under the 12 because I don't care about that. All I care about is the slope. What does my slope become? What does this become? What's negative 4 over negative 5 become? A positive 4 over 5. A negative divided by negative is just a positive. Okay? So that's my slope. I need to know my perpendicular slope. What is my perpendicular M? Spot on. Negative 5 over 4. And it's passing through the point 1, negative 3. We're just going to leave this one in point slope form. So Dakota, you're up. Point slope form. You got this. Sure you do. Y minus y1 equals m times x minus x1. Y minus y1 equals m times the quantity x minus x1. We're on number 7. That's why I don't want you with your back. Like, I feel like you're almost looking behind yourself. That's why I put you at the other seat. And I've asked you twice to move that seat, like on. Okay, so what about the other seats? So you have to have your back to the light? Okay. Anyway, so what's the y1 coordinate from this ordered pair? Okay, so let's start with that. Y minus negative 3. What happens to minus a negative? Big plus. Equals my slope. What is my slope? What is my perpendicular slope? So negative 5 over 4 times the quantity x minus, what's the x coordinate? There you go. You did it. We're just going to leave that one like that. Okay. All right. Let's keep going. All right. Here you're given a slope and a point. How are we going to write an equation for it? We're given a slope and a point. Naya, we're given a slope and a point. How are we going to write an equation for it? If you want to pass, you can say pass. Okay, Amira. It is exactly like number 1.
Okay, so you do the y minus y1.
So what is y minus y1? What do you want me to write it all out for you? Keep going.
X minus x1.
Okay, so you plug the numbers in for me. What is the y coordinate from that point? Negative 6, 4. So y minus 4 equals, awesome.
X minus negative 6.
Good job. That's it. Okay, so that's point slope. Can we transform that point slope into slope intercept form? Gavin. So y minus 4 equals negative 3x minus 18. I want you to know that my Math 1 students, like we took this test 2 weeks ago, most of them failed it. Well, here's why. You guys are not going to be there. Shh. Good job. They just couldn't figure out how to go from point slope to standard or to slope intercept form. You guys have that mastered. Like you just are so flawless with that. Very nice. Okay. What'd you say? You think that's what it is? Okay. Well, I think you're doing great. Shh, you do not suck. Okay. Next one, number 9. Number 9 is just like number 8. We're going to take the slope and the point and write it in point slope form. The only difference is it says it wants the final answer in standard form. Someone tell me what standard form looks like. Eric. AX plus BY equals C. What do we know about the A, the B, and the C? They can't be decimals or fractions. That means that they're integers. And what do we know about A? It is positive. Good job. Okay. So let's write it in point slope form, and then we'll distribute and get rid of the fractions. Okay. What do you got? Eric, are you doing this one? No? Okay. Gavin, go ahead. I just didn't want to steal that.
Y minus 5
Awesome.
equals negative 1/2
Perfect.
times the property of x plus 2.
Awesome. It's times the quantity, but I love it that you said times the property of. That's so cute. Okay, next. I love it. Keep going. Okay, distribute. So y minus 5 equals negative 1/2 x. Half of 2 is a negative times a positive is a negative. Okay. What do you want to do next? Add 5. I love that.
That would be y equals negative 1/2 x plus 4.
Okay. So here's my question to you. Are we allowed to have any fractions? No fractions, not for standard form, because we're changing it to ax plus by. So remember, when you have a fraction, the only way to get rid of it is to multiply every single number by the denominator. So what is the denominator of my fraction? 2. So I'm going to multiply. I'm going to write this right over here. So y equals negative 1/2 x plus 4. And I'm going to multiply everything by the number 2. So 2 times y becomes 2y. Half of 2 is 1, and it's negative 1x. 2 times 4 is, okay, we're almost there. The only thing I have to do now is get the x from the right side to the left side. How do I do that? I need to move the negative 1x over to the other side. Who is outside my window just pressed up against it? That is creeping me out. Can you open the door? Okay, that's fine. That's fine. That's fine. Shh. It was freaking me out. What am I doing? Nope. I need to take the negative 1 from the right side and move it to the left side. How do I do that? Shh. You add 1x to both sides. Nope. Shh. I'm moving it from one side to the other. So I have 1x plus 2y equals 8. Well, yeah. I mean, he was there for a couple of minutes. So yeah, I'd probably be like, what the heck is going on? Shh. Yeah, I know. He was, wasn't he? Did you see him there? Oh, yeah. Yeah. That's okay. I'm waiting. I'm waiting. Shh. Go ahead. Question. Okay, hang on. What is your question, Gavin? How what? Okay. Okay, so remember, you can't have a fraction when it's in standard form. And we have this fraction right up here, the negative 1/2. So the only way to get rid of a fraction is to multiply by the denominator, right? And you can't, like when you multiply, it's an equation. Remember, whatever you do on one side, you have to do to the other. So you have to do it to everything. It's just like when we divide by 3, we divide everything. So 2 is the denominator. Do you see that? So the only way to get rid of this denominator, the half, the only way to get rid of the fraction is to multiply everything by the denominator. So we multiply 2 times y, 2 times 1/2, which is 1, and it's negative. 2 times 4 is 8. Okay? Yeah. You have to multiply by the denominator. Okay? All right, we're almost done. Number 10. We're going to just leave this in point slope form. Tell me what to do here. I'm looking for what? Whenever I'm trying to write a line for a parallel or a perpendicular, what do I need first? Every single time? M. What is the M? Negative 1/3. What's the parallel M, Antoine? It's negative 1/3. It's passing through this point. Abigail, write me equation in point slope form. Perfect. Are we okay with leaving it? Have you had enough practice of going from point slope to slope intercept? Do you want to transfer it? You going to do it for us, Antoine? I know it says slope intercept form, but I'm trying to get through this and still give you guys a little bit of time to finish up your interactive from yesterday. You're good? Okay. All right. What about you guys had an interactive practice yesterday? Some of you did it, some of you didn't. That's why I'm hurrying. Okay. Next one, number 11. Number 11. So I want it to be perpendicular. So what do I need to find first? What's the slope of that equation? So what's my perpendicular slope? Negative 4/3. And it's passing through this point. Daniel, give me an equation in slope or point slope form. Yeah, you can. Y minus y1. We're going to do it together. Y minus y1 equals m times the quantity x minus x1. What's the y coordinate of the point? So y minus 3 equals, what is your perpendicular slope? Okay, times the property of x minus, yes, very good. Minus a negative 2 becomes plus. That's it. You can do that.
I cannot. The only reason I was able to do it is because you were my crutch.
Well, I'll be your crutch. Okay, are we ready? I can help your thinking. Okay, sorry.
I said crutch.
Yeah, he said crutch.
I said crutch.
Shh. Come on, we have 4 more problems, word problems. You got it? Okay. The volume of water in a swimming pool is 12,000 gallons. What is this number representing? What? Like, in terms of an equation? B. It's the beginning amount. It drains at a steady rate of 20 gallons per minute. What does that rate when we see the word per, it means M. And what did you say? Why is it negative? Because it's draining. So my slope is going to be negative 20. We have everything we need to know to write an equation. It says to write it in slope intercept form. Y equals my slope, negative 20x plus 12,000. How many gallons of water will be in the pool after 24 minutes? What's that saying? Well, tell me what you're doing. What math are you doing?
You let 24 be x.
You let x equal 24. Now you go ahead and do your math. Good job, Gavin. Let x equal 24. Why? Because x is the number of minutes, right?
Oh, I see now. 11,500.
Good. How long, meaning how many minutes, that's x, the number of minutes, will it take to completely drain the pool? Can I what?
Probably not. Not bad.
How am I going to solve that? When I drain the pool, how much water is in it? No, I started with 12,000. When I completely drain the pool, 0. That means y equals 0. So can I use this equation and let y equal 0? So that's 0 equals negative 20x plus 12,000. Someone solve that. I'm trying to figure out how many minutes this is going to take. So what should I do? I'm trying to get x all by itself. Naya. Sure, subtract 12,000 from both sides. I think that sounds great. So I have negative 12,000 equals negative 20x. Now what? Yeah, divide both sides by negative 20. So what does x equal?
1. Oh, guys, ignore me.
X equals 600. And that's 600 minutes. If I ask you a bonus question that said, how many hours is that? 10 hours. How did you do that? You divided by 60. Good job. Okay. Here's a question that is applicable. While in Chicago, I traveled via taxi. My first ride cost $11.50 and I traveled 12 miles. That looks like an ordered pair. Remember that the cost is always the Y. The cost is always the Y. So that's the ordered pair, 12 and 11.5. My second cab ride from the same company cost me $23.50 and I traveled 28 miles. So that's the order pair 28 and 23.5. I have to write an equation. You do. You have to find what? You have to find slope. So I'm going to stack them up because some of you guys like it that way. And I'm going to see what our change in y is and our change in x. Looks like we add 12 on the y side, and it looks like we add 16 on the x side. So my slope is 12 over 16, which reduces to 3 over 4. It says write your equation in point slope form. So what point do you want to use? Doesn't matter. Does it matter which point we choose? No, it doesn't. Eli, which point are you using? 12 and 11.5. Go, Eli. Y minus. Shh. Awesome. Equals my slope.
3 over 4 times the quantity x minus 12.
Good job. Perfect. Okay. So if I use that same cab company for a third trip and I know that I'm going to travel 47 miles, how much is my cost going to be? What is that saying? What is that 47 miles representing? What variable? Let x equal 47. Good job. So y minus 11.5 equals 3/4 times 47 minus 12. You can put that into your calculator. Here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to add 11.5 on both sides. So who's got a calculator? Hello? Gavin, you calculating it? Okay, keep going. No, you haven't.
How do I put an equal sign?
Here's what I don't want you to put an equal sign down. What I want you to do is take 3/4
Where are you adding the 11?
because I'm trying to find the total. So after I figure out what 3/4 times 35 is, I'm gonna have to add 11.5 to that. What is 105 over 4? Simplify it because we're talking about money. Add your 11.5. I got $37.75. That's what it is. I promise. Okay.
Oh, I have 11.
Okay. Last one. Are we done with this? No. Sorry. Are we done? Okay. Here we go. John plans on adding $15 per week. What does this represent? When I see the word per, M equals 15. To a savings account. On the 7th week, John had $225. That sounds like a what? Okay, stop talking. What does that sound like? Yeah, because you're just rambling stuff. It sounds like an ordered pair. 7,255. You should have Corbett. Corbett, I'll let you redeem yourself. Go ahead and put it in point slope form.
How is that redeeming myself?
It is. So you can be bold.
That's the Y one.
Yep.
Oh, okay. So Y minus 255 equals 15, right?
Yeah, you're right.
Times the quantity X plus or minus 7.
Perfect. That's your equation. Y minus 255 equals 15 times the quantity X minus 7. How much money will John have after 25 weeks? What does that mean? Let X equal 25. Okay. So Y minus 255 equals 15 times whatever 25 minus 7 is. So 25 minus 7 is what? Times 15 is what? Plus the 255, because I have to get Y all by itself. And I find out that Y equals $525. Okay. Question B says, what was the initial value? God dang it. What was the initial value? What does that mean? Like when I say, what's the initial value? Yeah, it means find B. What do I know about the y-intercept? The y-intercept happens when what? Say that again. So can't I just let x equal 0 in this equation? So y minus 255 equals 15 times 0 minus 7. Y minus 255 equals, well, 15 times a negative 7 is negative 105, I think. Someone might need to check that. Is someone checking that? I think it's right. So I started this with $150 in my savings account. Okay, that's how much I started with. So if you look at your review and you use that during your test, I think that you will be Fabulous. Because I wrote the test, then I made the review guide. I know we have one more question. So tell me, how am I going to graph that first equation? What do I know from this equation? The m is 1 over 2. What else do I know? Do I know a point? Yep. It's -2 and 2. -2 and +2. This is x minus -2, right? So the x coordinate is -2, the y coordinate is +2. So I'm going to begin at -2, +2, and then I'm going to go up 1 over 2, up 1 over 2, up 1 over 2. Okay. What do we know about this equation? Do we know the slope? Could we figure it out? Subtract 4x for both sides. 2y equals -4x plus 8. Divide everything by 2. Y equals -2x plus 4. So I'm going to begin at +4 and I'm going to go down 2 over 1, down 2 over 1, down 2 over 1. What can I say about these two lines? Say it again. Yeah, they're perpendicular. Good job.
Wait, hold